Hello there, and welcome to 10 advanced tips and tricks for more success in Rogue Genesia. I did here my best to bring together a lot of little things that will make your progress a little bit faster and easier, all the way up to the higher ranks of difficulty, where the game has a lot of fun for you. So I want to get started with number one without wasting any time of yours. Adjust your difficulty. When I started out with this game, I almost put it down because it felt too easy for me. But up here, there is a corruption meter. And if you ever feel like the game doesn't handle you rough enough and it is just boring to waltz over everything, just play with that. And you'll see it's gonna get rougher. Also, for me personally, quick game was a total game changer. I feel like the game's taking a little bit too long on its original setting. For me, this is the perfect sweet spot. Getting the corruption a little bit up and going into the quick game mode quickly turned the game exactly to the point of difficulty, which really felt good for me. Long story short, adjust the difficulty to a point where you feel comfy with. If the game feels too easy, you don't have to, all right? So let's go to number two. When you are building up your build, whatever way you go, at some point you get a lot of options to trade away your HP for more damage or whatever. Do that carefully. High HP protect you from all manner of different burst shenanigans and are a really good and strong addition to your defense ratings, because I've noticed that your defense might be as high as it wants to be. At some point there is a high burst elite or an enemy that also somehow circumvents defenses. I still have to look into it, how the enemies actually killed me. Long story short, I noticed that a high HP pool was the most life-saving thing in combination with high HP reg and all, but don't trade away too much of your HP too lightly, is the long story short here. So, number three. Sometimes the game offers you to enhance certain elemental tags. If that is a possibility, do that. It is so insanely valuable. It's very easy and simple. There's no downside to it. You just nudge the drop pool a little bit towards certain items that can be extremely useful for you in any way. So Moon is for defense, Fire is for offense, and there's a couple of others in between. But whatever you do, these elemental tags help out a lot in getting exactly more of the stuff that you currently need. And those random events, I slept on them, and I was wondering for quite some time what the heck I should do with those figurines until it dawned on me that they are really good drop chance manipulators, that they're worth it. Now, number four. Weapon upgrades. So whenever the game offers you to upgrade one of your weapons in the soul card menu, if possible, if there's nothing super tasty or interesting out there, take it. Because upgrading your weapons is directly making the basic value of damage go up. You know, the one number all of your multipliers are working with goes up when you level up your weapon. That's why weapon level ups are so powerful. And the other thing here is that when you choose your weapons, press I and check on out what kind of evolutions they have, so you can keep an eye out on what kind of weapon you want to combine into what you got there. So most of these have some sort of a evolved version. Often you must do some hyper charge on them. Like here, you need to go to a forge, level it up on level 8 to even unlock the evolution. Long story short, weapon upgrades are basically no-brainers, and if there's sometimes a super rare first level of something, by all means, that might be smarter than leveling up your piddly weapon, but most of the time, weapon upgrades are just absolutely imperative and make you always way stronger than any other upgrade that you could pick out here. Now, number five, big defense traits. So sometimes you get some of these really big defense uppers, and they are, just like the weapon upgrades, basically no-brainers and should be taken under any circumstances. The thing is quite simple. This game loves to trade trade defense for offense. There's plenty of soul cards that transform defensive stats into offensive stats. And if you don't have anything to trade, it sucks, because then you're passing out on a lot of damage. And in a weird way, in Rogue Genesia, you do need lots of defense to get your offense going. It's really like that. So even if you feel like already you are totally invulnerable and all, pick them still up. You can use them later to grow more powerful. It's useful. Now, moving on to number 6, XP modifiers. So, any XP modifying soul cards are really good as long as they come early in your run. When they come later in your run, you might as well banish them at some points. To me personally, every XP modifier that dares to show its face only post level 100, I often banish them. The thing for me personally is that they need time to get their advantage going, and if you don't give them their time to get their advantage going, basically you just end up with something that's eating up your skill levels that grow less and less, that occur less and less often the higher your level is. So long story short, they are great early on. As soon as you are getting closer to level 50, it starts to get debatable, and post level 50, well, it's up to your playstyle and to your feels, I'd say. Number 7, Banish, and do a lot of it. So banishing is a very, very potent tool, and unlike in other games of the genre, you are allowed to banish, to recharge banish charges. This means sometimes when you are at a shop, you can get yourself a couple of them back, or you get it as a loot object. The point here is that every item that you don't want to have, that you have banished, is an opportunity to get something that you really want to have on the next time. And basically, the gist of it is, when you see something that you don't want to have in this run, even if you want to select, if you already have selected that you want like this here, just banish it. Just banish it on the side. Just helping you to slim down your drop pool and make it more likely to get the stuff that you want, which is always amazing. And the more difficult the game becomes, the more important this kind of optimization grows. Number 8, knockback and slow. So whenever you can get yourself a source of knockback and or slow, it is totally worth picking them up. They grow more and more powerful the longer the game goes, because your attack speed grows, your projectile speed grows, and these two factors make it so that you can keep enemies away from you without having to kite much, which is really, really nice. So yeah, you can do a lot of good work with that, and therefore pick them up when they come across. They're basically a no-brainer for any build, because I have yet to find a situation where I don't want to slow my enemies. Maybe the knockback portion you don't need, because you want to keep the enemy up close and personal to yourself, but the slow still stays relevant and useful, because you don't want the enemy to get that close after all. So, you get the idea. Number 9, gold versus XP. So, in this game, we can grow more powerful by accumulating enough XP to level up. And we can also buy stuff with gold. So where's the difference icon? So the thing is, monsters level 2. That's a problem. If you get a level, they get a level. And when they get a level, they also gain stats. And this is the big difference between gold and XP. While gold is one of those things that's really hard to increase, if you have already noticed. There's not too many things that increase the gold drop rate, so when you come across them, they're really powerful. Stuff bought from the shop doesn't make the enemy more powerful. This is pretty good. XP do make the enemy more powerful. That's a hidden caveat, basically, when you are picking up XP modifiers early on. You make yourself also stronger enemies. But this does really not play that much of a big role, because you also grow stronger at the end of the day, because you level up more than them. Sort of. Your upgrades are just way more than the average level of the monster. Long story short, gold is making you more powerful than XP. This is just a small little thing, but if you can increase your gold income, or you can come across a big portion of gold, it might be worth it. Also, last thing at this point, if you want to spend lots of gold in some way, make sure you plan your route in a way that you cross several shops. Rerolling shops becomes more and more costly the more often you do it, and eventually the reroll costs become so obscene that you really don't want to do another reroll. So having another shop on your route helps you a lot in spending a lot of money. So just as a side note, something that happened to me in between here and there. And last but not least, the number 10 on my list, and is what you see in here right now, challenges. So in each difficulty level, there's challenge modes, and they give you really amazing little rewards. And all I want to say is play them. Play them as soon as you can, tackle them, and not later when the game forces you to play them to get into the A-level difficulty. Wink, wink. That's exactly what happened here. This is out of two reasons. For one, I made it unnecessarily harder. I had enemies that were pretty hard to kill while they had no chance to kill me, and also the lower level challenges were quite boring. At the same time, when you play them while they are at your while they are part of your progression, they make it easier to blast through the progression runs, and they're honestly quite fun takes on the game, because you always have a different challenge at your hand, hence the name, and the power-ups are massively worth it. There's really some such fun things that change the interaction with many game elements that it's totally worth it grinding them down and taking them as soon as they pop up. Now then, much more to say about the game, but these are 10 things which I felt like help you getting your progression runs healthy and speedy and successful. And I hope it is working out for you. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Consider checking out in the description box below the ways and means to support the channel, or just become a YouTube channel member. Whatever floats your boat, it would make me very, very happy. Many thanks go out to all of you who do, and many thanks out to you right here, right now, sitting in front of your computer or cell phone or wherever you're watching. I really appreciate you folks taking your time to watch videos up until the very end. It's really meaning a lot to me, and I hope you had a great time, have a great day, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.